Will 2021 be your year? Well, if the answer is yes, and if you do want to start your e-commerce journey on Amazon in the year 2021, well, you need to start by registering your seller account. And in tonight's live stream, we're going to be talking about some small tips and tricks that you need to learn if you want to register a seller account on Amazon in the Middle East or any other marketplace. I know some of you already do have seller accounts on Amazon in the Middle East, and you might be thinking about expanding your business in the year 2021. So these tips are going to be very important for you so you don't get rejected when you try to open your seller account on other Amazon marketplaces. First off, this is a live stream. And if you are watching this, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That's if you're not already subscribed, so that you never miss another live stream again. Additionally, I'm going to be answering some questions at the end of, well, after I finish my tips. I have some questions that a lot of you have asked through our Instagram account, Amazon Sellers Society, and I'm going to see any of your questions right now and answer them, well, after I give you a few tips. Before I get started, let me start by saying, well, this is probably one of the most asked questions. Can you actually open an Amazon account in a different marketplace? And the answer is definitely yes. Of course, you can open another Amazon account under your same name and credentials. That is if they do apply for the marketplace that you do want to open in. You can open a different account in a different marketplace, but don't get it mixed up with opening another account in the same marketplace. Okay, so let me make it a little bit easier. So let's assume that you live in the UAE and you have a seller account on Amazon in the UAE. Can you open another account with your same credentials on Amazon in the UAE? The answer is no. And if it does happen, and if you are able to do it, then Amazon will surely, after some time and after, you go under their radar and after they notice what you're doing, you probably are doing it without even knowing that you're doing something wrong, by the way. They will suspend both of your accounts, even if you're already selling or even if you're not using the second one. So you cannot open two accounts in the same marketplace. However, if you are a UAE seller, and you want to open another account on Amazon in KSA, for example, in Saudi Arabia, with the same credentials, with your same name, with your same ID, no matter, whatever, of course you can, because it's a completely different marketplace. And of course, Amazon wants you to expand, because that way, you're expanding your business. And the more sales you make and the more successful you are, in the end, they're successful as well when you are making more sales. So first things first, yes, you can open in several marketplaces. Second of all, let's talk about, generally speaking, about the Amazon system. So Amazon is, the system is an automated system. The reason why I'm telling you this is because I don't want you to feel rejected. It is an automated system. It is an AI-powered system. There are no human beings that are looking at your actual paperwork and documents and deciding to reject you. So when you know that it's an automated system and it's an AI-powered system, you know that you have to follow the exact rules and regulations or the exact documents, and we're going to talk about that in a few seconds, or else you're going to be rejected, because it's either black or white. There's no gray when it's an AI-powered system. So again, you're not getting rejected personally, your documents are getting rejected, and all you need to do is to figure out why you're getting rejected and just fix the exact problem. So when you know it's an automated system, it's a sigh of relief, and you know that as long as you follow whatever they want, you're able to get to the level that you want to get to. Now, you might get rejected when you first apply, whether you do have an account on Amazon in the UAE and you have gone through this before or not. Normally, when you do apply, you might get accepted straight away, and that would be fantastic. But if you do get rejected, you might get rejected in two ways. Number one, they can clearly see that there is something wrong with one of the documents that you have uploaded, and they will send you an email and tell you there's something wrong with your ID, for example, or your bank statement, for example, and you need to rectify it. And sometimes they don't tell you exactly what the problem is, and that's a tricky situation. They just tell you there's something wrong with your document and they can't verify it, and you have 30 days in order to upload again. And you have 30 days in order to upload again, and that's fine. Or you might get another email that tells you you cannot sell on Amazon, flat out rejected, you feel rejected. However, it's just the fact that your documents, there's several things about your documents, and they can't really pinpoint the reason why they can't open your account, and then they flat out reject you. So those are the two emails that you might get. And if you get the first one, you just reapply again. And if you get the second one, guess what you do? You reapply again, but you reapply with another email because you can't use the same exact email that you used the first time. Again, remember, they're not rejecting you as a person, they're just rejecting the documents, the fact that they can't verify the documents because the documents are, well, there's something missing with them. The second thing is when you are registering as a seller on Amazon, whether anywhere, make sure that you're uploading the correct documents. So if they ask you for a bank statement, upload a bank statement. If they ask you for a credit card statement, upload a credit card statement. Don't come up with your own documents. Don't decide to upload several other documents that they didn't ask you for, because again, something's going to go wrong with the system and they're just not going to understand what these documents are. Make sure that the documents are PDF or PNG, never Word and never Excel, because Amazon don't like those types of formats. Make sure that they are colored, properly scanned, and very, very, very clear, because it's an AI-powered system. And make sure everything is under your particular name and with the same address that you are using. I know it sounds simple. I know this information is very simple. However, you do get mixed up sometimes because you think, well, I can probably upload a bank statement that doesn't have my name on it. I can probably upload a utility bill that doesn't have my name on it. It has my roommate's name on it, and we share the same address. That's not going to work because it's a very simple system. You have to follow it step by step, and you have to figure out what is the issue and why they're rejecting you and basically fix it. Again, I don't want you to get to a hurdle where you get rejected and you stop. All you need to do is basically reapply. Okay? So that's it. Now, as you know, it depends on the country or the marketplace rather that you are trying to register as a seller in. And it depends on where you live and what nationality you are. So there are some certain marketplaces that do allow a lot of countries, and some marketplaces are very limited. So it is sometimes unfair, especially in the Middle East, that so many countries are not able to register on Amazon in UAE and KSA, and so many Middle Eastern countries aren't able to. But in the end, it's Amazon, it's their marketplace. We're just using it to sell our products and make money. And there are some rules and regulations that we probably don't agree with, we don't like. However, if we want to sell on Amazon, we have to follow these rules and regulations. It's as simple as that. It's their marketplace at the end. Okay? So let's get started with a few of your questions. I know some of you are typing in some questions. So let me know whatever questions you have. Hi, everyone. Let me know whatever questions you have, and I'll answer them after I go through the questions from Instagram. Okay, so let me open my screenshot a few days ago. If you don't follow us on Instagram, it's Amazon Sellers Society. So I did ask if any of you have some questions, and a lot of people sent in a lot of questions. I'm not going to answer all of them because some of them are very repetitive. So I chose a few questions that I thought are very good, and I'm going to answer them. No, Zed Bricks, this is live. This is not pre-recorded, okay? You're watching it live. So let's go with question number 1, which is, If it's from Mufad, I'm sorry, I can't read the name. It's very odd. From Instagram. So the question is, if you want to do an order, or if you want to order a container from Alibaba, how can you trust the supplier? Well, if you're ordering basically a container, which means it's a very big quantity, you're probably not going to go through Alibaba Trade Assurance. However, the reason why we order from Alibaba is because, well, number one, it makes life easier. I'm sure none of you want to travel to China at the moment. So Alibaba makes life easier for everyone. Additionally, you're able to verify the supplier and all the information that you need about the supplier. And additionally, you've got the Alibaba Trade Assurance, which is essentially an escrow account whereby you're not giving the money directly to the supplier. You're putting it in an escrow account. If you've ever bought a house, you know what that means. So you're giving the money to a third party. Let's assume it's Alibaba Trade Assurance. And then when everything happens, they will give the money to the supplier. If you have an issue, you don't have to go and talk to the supplier directly, or you can, but you have a third party that can give you a refund, that can look into your problem. So that is the system that Alibaba created, and it's honestly a fantastic system. It can help you really. It's probably one of the only ways and the cheapest ways that you can use. By cheapest, because you're paying about 2 to 3% transaction fee, whereby if you use PayPal, which is additionally fantastic, you're paying 4% plus in transaction fees. So imagine if you have a big invoice and a big investment, you're going to be paying a lot of money in just transaction fees. So with that, Alibaba Trade Assurance is the best way for you to verify the fact that if anything happens, you can ask for a refund or at least get a little bit of damages back. And it's a system that is for serious sellers, and by sellers I mean the manufacturers, basically, because there's the sellers when we're buying from them and we're the buyers. So it switches, and it's probably one of the best things to do. Now, if you're ordering a very big quantity, then you're probably not going to go through the Alibaba Trade Assurance. Then you're going to have to do bank transfer, and there is a system and a way whereby you can send a credit note and then make it a little bit more streamlined when you're ordering very big quantities, because I know a lot of you have reached out to me for that thing. The other thing is from Dubai Rancher. He's asking, what are the risks of doing self-shipping to international markets from the UAE? And the answer is Amazon UAE cannot be linked to international markets. I know in your Amazon Seller Central, you can see global accounts, and you can see that there are other marketplaces, and you assume that you can link them together. You cannot link your Amazon UAE account to another account in US, for example, meaning you can link them, but you cannot be an international seller from the UAE to the US. Not like when on Amazon UAE, obviously a lot of you have seen international sellers, products that are coming from the UAE, from the US or from the UK. Everything starts with a U, from the US or from the UK, but you cannot do the same thing on Amazon UK or Amazon US. That's just how it is. So I'm not going to answer the question because that doesn't work and it's not actually available. You cannot send self-ship to international markets. If you want to sell on Amazon.com and basically sell in the US market, you have to have your products physically in the US, okay? UK, whatever other marketplace, you can do it the other way around. So if you want, you can send your products over to the US and be an international seller on Amazon UAE. However, one of the reasons why people love to purchase from Amazon, does anybody know why people love to purchase from Amazon? It's easy. It's because you get very fast delivery. So unless the product is extremely unique and you can't find it on Amazon from a local seller, then probably you're going to purchase it from an international seller. However, with the growth of Amazon, particularly in the UAE this year, things have changed a lot. And I don't believe that international sellers are doing as well as they were previously doing, because before that, a year before, there wasn't a lot of other options. So people had to purchase from these international sellers. Now you can practically find everything, either FBA or FBM. And that's probably how customers like it. Question number 2 is from Fahim_709. And he's asking, what is the minimum investment for UAE for PLA? I'm guessing private label. PL, private label. So this is a question I get a lot, because a lot of you are considering how to do this business and how much it's going to cost you. And the honest answer is the investment depends on you. I know it's a weird answer, but that's the truth, because the investment depends on you. Private labeling, if we break it down, essentially is getting any product, let's assume not the phone, not the iPhone, definitely the case, and just putting your logo on it. That's in its most basic format. That's what private labeling is. Yes, of course, we want to improve the product, make some necessary changes to the product. That would be ideal. But white labeling or private labeling essentially means finding a manufacturer and adding your own brand name on that product and branding it under your own private brand. Now, in order to do that, you can find a product that's very expensive and buy a very big quantity and be able to sell it at a very high price point and be able to make a lot of money. Or you can get a very simple product with a very low MOQ and get a logo printed on it, and you have a private label product. So let me show you, and I found this within a few minutes of doing a little search on Alibaba. So this is a product. It's probably not ideal, but it's a coffee scoop with a clip. So if you're a big coffee drinker like I am, this is something that you use for your coffee, and you can clip it onto the coffee bag. That's if you drink filtered coffee. So this is a scoop. The unit is 0.78 cent, and the MOQ is 20 pieces for laser logo printing. If you do that, if you get this product, if you get as little as 20 units and you get them laser printed, then you have a private label product. So it actually depends on you, and it depends on what you feel comfortable with investing. You can start with very little, with a very small investment, and you can start with a big investment. Now, why would you start with a big investment if you can start with like 78 cents? Because basically, the better your investment, the more quantity you purchase, the more your money you're able to make. Because remember, the whole idea of Amazon is the oldest type of commerce ever known to man, which is you buy wholesale and you sell retail and you make your money in the middle. You are not, as an Amazon seller, you're not an inventor, you're not a manufacturer, and you're not the actual platform where people are purchasing your product. You're in the middle. Yes, you are the creator of this product. You create it visually. You are the seller of this product. However, you don't need to figure out how to manufacture it and how to get a factory and how to get workers in a factory. And you don't need to worry about how a website is created and how the back end of a website works and all of that. So you're basically a trader or a seller. That's exactly what you are. So the more, when you go to a supplier and you want to order a bigger quantity, you obviously get a better price. And you're obviously also able to lower your shipping costs when you order a bigger quantity. And thus you're able to make better margins. That's why you would want to invest higher amounts of money or a bigger investment rather than just having a small investment. But that doesn't mean that you should go all in when you first start on Amazon, especially if you haven't verified whether the product is something that people want or if it's something that people like. So you need to take your time in order, and you need to take it slow, just like anything, in order to make sure that the product is well wanted and people like it. Okay, great. Now, let's answer the last question, and then I'll see your questions that you are typing in right now. And the last question is from Farid, I believe. He wants to sell an oximeter, which is a type of product that is very popular right now with the situation. And he wants to know if he can sell it and how they will allow him to sell it. And additionally, we have another question that is very similar, which is from Scarlett141, who's asking, is the invoice enough to sell baby products? Well, as simple as the following. Skeleton listing. What does a skeleton listing mean? Have you ever heard about this term, skeleton listing? Some people call it dummy listing. It's basically creating a listing just to figure out what Amazon want. What do they want? Can I sell this product? Do I need approval? This is the easiest way for you to figure out without having to go through Amazon's terms of service, which change every once in a while, without having to ask the Amazon Seller Central team, support team, because sometimes they don't understand and they give you random answers. So creating a skeleton listing means listing the product. Just list it. Even if you don't intend to finalize it and sell it, just list the product. Now, you might be prompted for certain information at 3 different levels. So when you list the product by skeleton listing, it means you just put the basic information, you choose the category, you put the images, you get them directly from your supplier, you can change them later on. You just put the basic information. That's why it's called a skeleton. So at that point, when you list the product, Amazon might prompt you for additional documentation. They might ask you for an invoice. They might ask you for a business license. They might ask you, depending on what the product is, they might ask you for several types of information. Now, you know the information that you need. Are you able to get that information from your supplier? That's why you're doing the skeleton listing. Second place where you might list the product and you might not get anything. The second place where they might prompt you for additional documentation is when you switch over the listing to FBA. So when you flip it to FBA, this is where it's probably going to go under hazmat review, and they might ask you for additional documentation. And the last and final phase that you're all clear if you go through all of these phases is when you create a shipping plan. So you need to create all of these things. Even if you're creating a fake shipping plan, it doesn't matter. You need to go through all of these 3 stages in order to ensure that Amazon do not require any additional documentation and everything is fine and you're clear and you're able to sell the product. Now, let's assume that Amazon do ask you for additional documentation. They might ask you for an invoice. They might ask you for the manufacturer's CE certification or a test report, for example. If it's a baby product, they might ask you for a business license, depending on what the product is and what the category is. There is, for each and every category on Amazon, such as baby products, there are subcategories additionally. So you might be selling under a certain subcategory of the baby product that requires absolutely no additional documentation. And you might be selling under a subcategory that requires a lot of additional documentation. Don't try to list your product under a different subcategory thinking that Amazon are not going to realize. They might not realize, but they will realize sooner or later. After some time, they will verify and see, well, why are you selling something under something completely different? So they will verify you and they will suspend your listing and they will ask you for additional documentation that you should have provided from the very beginning. A lot of sellers attempt to do this, but it never works. So that's exactly what you want. You need to create a skeleton listing in order to figure out exactly what documents Amazon need. I don't suggest that you be scared about gated categories. You should be ready. You should be, at the contrary, gated categories are fantastic because a lot of people are worried with selling in gated categories, so they shy away from them. So I would suggest that you don't shy away from them for that particular reason. So let's get started with your wonderful questions. A question from Gurinder. Hi, Gurinder. So Gurinder is asking, credit card is necessary for Amazon business. Gurinder, the honest answer is yes. You need to have a credit card in order for you to open an Amazon seller account. A lot of people have been able to open their seller account via a debit card in the UAE and KSA. However, you might get suspended later on, because it's not about having a credit card or a debit card. It's about having an international type of card whereby Amazon can use it for any, they can charge it at any time. The reason why you're able to use a debit card in order to open an account on Amazon KSA or Amazon UAE is that there are no seller fees. So you're not paying anything with the debit card, because there's no monthly seller plan fees. Whereas in the US, you have to pay around $40 every single month if you open a professional account. On Amazon UAE and Amazon KSA, it's nothing. At the moment, it's free. So that might switch later on. And that's why I'm worried that if you do open your account with a debit card and this thing switches and now Amazon want a monthly membership fee or a monthly fee for the particular selling plan, then your account will be suspended unless you give them a credit card. So that's why from the very beginning, try to open your account with a credit card so you bypass that particular issue. The same question from Sayed, can we not open an account with a debit card? Again, I answered it previously. The reason why we're able to open accounts on Amazon, UAE and KSA with a debit card is that there is no monthly charges. However, normally you would require a credit card. So that's why it's best if you start off with a credit card. Oh my God, everybody's asking the same question. Hussam as well is asking the same question. So I know not everybody in the UAE or KSA has a credit card, but it's best if you open it correctly, because the worst thing that can happen, Hussam, Sayyid, and Gurwinder, the worst thing that can happen is that you start your business on Amazon and you're starting to sell, and then Amazon stops your account and they freeze everything, including your money. That's the worst thing that can happen, and you definitely don't want that to happen. A question from Ajward Ali. Hello. So Ajward is asking, can we deliver to DXB4 fulfillment center without appointment? I'm reading it. I know you can see it, but I'm reading it with you. First of all, no. The only fulfillment center that you can, from time to time, because sometimes it stops, the only fulfillment center that you can do a manual drop-off appointment, basically by manual meaning you can go and take and drop off the products without any appointment, is DXB3. That's the only fulfillment center. All other fulfillment centers, DXB4, that now there's a third one that's an additional new one, and maybe some more other warehouses will pop up in 2021 because of the demand. The only one from all of the warehouses is the XP3. And again, it's not always available for manual drop-off. Sometimes it's limited to a very small number of appointments every single day, or a very limited amount of quantity that you can drop off every single day. And sometimes it's absolutely not allowed. That's why it's best if you take an appointment. Why do you want to go manually? It's best if you take an appointment. Of course, currently, the appointments are a little bit far off. You know, you have to probably wait 1 or 2 weeks, because now the demand is very high. We're at the end of Q4, and a lot of sellers are sending in their products from China to be warehoused before the Chinese New Year starts in Amazon. So there is a lot of new shipments coming in, and that's normal. But waiting 1 week is not a very big deal. But you know, I would recommend that you always take an appointment. That way you know you have an appointment. That way you know you have an appointment, and you can drop them off at a certain point. But DXB4, again, just to answer your question, no. Even if you have less than 100, even if you have 10, you cannot drop off without an appointment. Okay, Kamran. Can we sell skincare and beauty category with individual seller account? If yes, how to make them ungated? First of all, Kamran, it's not about selling these products as an individual seller. First of all, the skincare and beauty category is not only a gated category, but additionally, if you are importing products from outside of the UAE, they need to be registered with the proper UAE authorities, or else you're not going to be able to import them. Anything that is considered topical, anything that you put on your skin or you ingest, like a vitamin, for example, or even food, everything needs to be registered. Everything needs to be registered with the Dubai municipality in order for you to get the proper paperwork in order to import them. Okay? Now, depending on what the product is, you might be able to sell it without, as an individual. Again, depending on the subcategory and the product itself, you might be able to sell it without any need for a business license. However, you will need to have certain documentation, certain certifications. Most of them are going to be something that if you are purchasing this product from directly the manufacturer or the distributor, you should be able to get them. It's probably a GMP certificate and additionally an official invoice from the distributor or the supplier. Again, the supplier or the manufacturer. It's an invoice and not a receipt, not the receipt that you get from the store. It has to be an official invoice. So if you can get those, then you'll be able to sell under the beauty and skincare. However, make sure that you can actually get them. Now, Abdullah, you need an e-commerce license. You can get one from any free zone. There are a lot of free zones in the UAE. I don't recommend a particular free zone. You have to do your own homework to find out which free zone works best for you and which offer is best. It's called an e-commerce license. It's very easy for you to get via any free zone. I would recommend that you talk to my favorite company, which is Virtue Zone. The website is very easy. It's vz.ae. They can help you and they can answer all of your questions regarding getting a free zone license. So Hamza is asking if he can use his UK company in Amazon UAE. Of course you can, Hamza. For a wholesale account or for any other type of account, you can use a UK-based company because it is approved by Amazon in the UAE. However, you need to know that you need to register for VAT in the UAE as soon, or actually before you start selling on Amazon. So if you are opening an account on Amazon in the UAE and you are not a resident, so you're using a US company, or you live in the US, or you live in the UK, or anywhere, there are a lot of countries that are able to open their accounts on Amazon in the UAE. You need to be VAT registered basically in order to be able to sell on Amazon. And a lot of people were ignoring this. However, Amazon in November, now they're taking it very seriously. And if you don't have a VAT registration, or at least if you don't verify that you have applied and you're currently waiting for your VAT number, then they will suspend your account. So this is an additional step that you need to think about when you do open your account with a UK-based license. Or an LTD or whatever type of license that you have. Of course you can. Another question from Hamza. Can you tell me after launch product in UAE, then how to rank my product on? That should be the first page. Anyways, I don't like typos. Make sure that you type everything correctly. Anyways, Hamza. So this is a very interesting question. How do you rank your product on the first page? Well, there is only one way, and that's by getting sales. Because the only way that can get your product ranked on the first page, and no matter what category that you're selling in, is basically sales. That's the only way. Now, how you go about getting those sales, that's a completely different thing. Whether you do PPC ads, whether you do external ads. If you are not, you should be subscribed to the channel because you're watching this live. But if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you are, because we're going to be putting out a lot of information next year all about doing ads on external platforms like Instagram and Facebook and all of that. And we're going to be giving you a lot of information all for free. So make sure that you are subscribed. And by the way, did you hit the like button for this live stream? If you haven't, do it right now, because it will give you fantastic luck in the year 2021. So if you want to be very lucky on your Amazon journey in the year 2021, you have to hit the thumbs up button. Did you do it? Okay, fantastic. So it's all about getting sales. You have to do ads, obviously, in the beginning, PPC ads or doing external ads, giveaways, anything in order to get sales. Because why does Amazon decide, well, this is the number one person I'm going to show whenever somebody types in a certain keyword? So how does the system work? How does the journey work? Customers log into Amazon, they type in a certain keyword, what we call a keyword, what Amazon call a search term. So for example, they're looking for, because this is the only thing I have right here, so they're looking for a mobile phone case. So they type in mobile phone case red, and out pops up, and Amazon just aggregate some certain sellers. How does Amazon decide, or how does the A9 algorithm, the system, the formula, the secret formula that Amazon have created, how does it decide this is going to be the first seller, this is going to be the third seller, this is going to be the fourth seller, and how does it decide that you're going to be on the third or fourth or fifth or 10th page? Simple. Sales, or more or less known as sales velocity. So the first person that pops up on that search page is the person that is selling the most. Okay? So that's very important for you to know. And that's why you need to make sure that you are the best seller so that Amazon can put you on the first page. As simple as that. It's easier said than done. Muhammad is asking if it's compulsory to have a business license to open an account on Amazon in the UAE. No. If you mean UAE, Muhammad, just verify if you mean UAE or not. To open an account on Amazon in the UAE, you don't need to have a business license. However, for the UAE government, you need to have a business license, because you can't have a business transaction without having a business license, or without being able to do that. Inas, hello from Turkey. Hello, we're going to be doing a lot of information about Amazon Turkey coming in the year 2021. Question from Daiti. I'm sorry if I'm saying your names incorrectly, but I don't have my glasses on. So how can we sell in KSA based in the UAE? That's very easy. You can open an account currently as you can open your account currently as a non-resident of KSA. You can open your account on Amazon in KSA with your UAE credentials, because the UAE is a country that is allowed to sell on Amazon in KSA, as simple as that. But the additional step would be for you to register for VAT, because you are a non-resident. You need to register for VAT in KSA. And to learn more about that information, you'll find a video recently on the channel all about open your account. In that video, you'll find additional information about registering for the VAT. And in the description box, there is a private video that can help you learn a little bit more about registering for VAT in KSA. So Muhammad, back to your question. Muhammad, this is the question. Is it compulsory to have a business license to open an account on Amazon in KSA? No, it's not. You can open as an individual. Ravindra. Okay, Ravindra, that's not a question. Well, our team always responds, support@assmiddleeast.org if anybody wants to talk to the team. Or you can just simply, Ravindra, log on to to our website, and you can click the Join Us button on our website. Our website is assmiddleeast.org. You'll find a lot of information, a lot of blog posts on the website. Just log into assmiddleeast.org. There is a big button called Join Us, and you can join us via that button, whether you want to join the English program or the Arabic speaking program. And that's it for tonight, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being part of our lovely journey on YouTube. Let me know if you have any additional questions. Leave them in the comment section below. Even if you're watching this video not live, I'll be able to see all of the comments. And next time we have a live stream, I will answer all the questions exactly like I answered all of your Instagram questions. If you want to follow us on Instagram, we just started our Instagram account. It's Amazon Sellers Society. You can go ahead and DM me or DM the, I sometimes answer, the team sometimes answer, so we can help you with any additional questions that you have. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so that you will be first to be notified whenever I go live, and additionally, whenever we put out videos. We do put out videos in English and in Arabic, so if you know both languages, then you're very lucky. But if you know one language, you are additionally very lucky. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Bye.